Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here once again with the Warriors of Chaos, going to be taking Big Bird and 3 Hell Cannons up against the Dawi, yes indeed. So I guess we're already into the army composition, so let's go ahead and take a look at things. Sarthrel has just Final Transmutation. Honestly, this spell not be wildly worth it against the dwarves. I'm still not completely sold out. I still think it might be better to take things like Plague of Rust and, Transmutation of Lead and so on. But we'll have to see. Bringing Big Bird against the dwarves is nice because obviously he has Terror. He's very hard for them to pin down beyond the Tormentor Sword. And of course he does have, Unbreakable and, yeah, lots of really nice stats, especially that missile resistance going to be very pertinent against the Dawi, as they can bring plenty of nasty missiles. So we've got the 3 Hell Cannons, 2 here, and 1 in this kind of plaza right here. We've also got a main line of 5 Chaos Marauders with great weapons, 2 Chosen with great weapons. You guys saw how in my last replay I was able to drag down some Chosen with halberds as the Lizardmen, so let's see if the Dawi are able to take down these bad boys here, looking very, very cool. In addition, we've also got 2 Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes for that armor-piercing missiles and a bit of mobility as well, and that's it for my build. As you can see from this dwarf player's build here, he's brought a veritable horde of dwarven infantry, so let's go ahead and take a look. It's going to be a combination of sword and board dwarf warriors and dwarf warriors with great weapons up front, including the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. We've got a standard lord here as the only heroic choice, 3 units of slayers, one of which is the Dragonback Slayers here in the center. We've also got Ulthar's Raiders and 3 units of Thunderers, make that 4 units of Thunderers, as well as a Bolt Thrower. So let's go ahead and see how things will unfold. Right off the bat, it's going to be priority number 1 for my Hell Cannons to start targeting these Thunderers here. They're the only real units that pose a threat to my Chosen with great weapons. Obviously, I can't see the Ulthar's Raiders quite yet, but if we can take out these Thunderers without them getting too much damage done, the Chosen should be able to mop up all of this dwarven infantry relatively easily. You can see we've got the Marauder Horsemen swinging up around through this plaza here. These ones are currently hidden in the woods, going to be immediately springing onto that Bolt Thrower there. So it has gotten some okay work done, but honestly it doesn't have a lot of great targets to shoot at in this army, beyond the Marauder Horsemen themselves, who are currently doing a nice job distracting there. You can see the Dawi infantry is advancing under heavy fire here, with the Hell Cannon shooting in on the side. Direct hit there on some Thunderers. We are going to be getting the mainline engagement underway with Big Bird leading the charge here with his Marauders. Going to be just smashing through these Dwarven infantry, and the Chosen with great weapons are going to be meeting immediately against the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Despite their bonus versus infantry and all that, they have taken some Hell Cannon damage, and that clean charge from Chosen is just going to destroy these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. You can see they just got completely chewed up. The Chosen didn't even lose a single unit model there, so that anti-infantry bonus that they carried didn't help them out too much. Heavy fire now coming in on the visible Ulthar's Raiders, and a little bit of miss micro from my opponent. He has more infantry. Well, he's starting to lose in a few pockets, but if you were to have spread out a little bit, and he's doing a very good job of compromising my flanks with the Slayers, he's going to come get on Hell Cannon with one of each, which is exactly what he needs to do. They've already fired half their ammunition, so he needs to shut them down as quickly as possible. He is winning in certain pockets, but what he needs to do is extricate these, because I don't have too much mobility beyond the Marauder Horsemen, he needs to extricate these Thunderers out and get them into a position where they can start firing on the Chosen here. You can see these guys are a little bit clogged up here, same with the Ulthar's Raiders, and these other Thunderers are out on the flanks, and they have been shooting at these Marauder Horsemen, which granted are a threat, but I would definitely say that the Chosen with great weapons are the much greater threat here. So not using those armor-piercing missiles to take down the Chosen is going to prove almost fatal for my opponent, because as we know, the Chosen are super, super scary in melee now. Sometimes I like to reminisce about the early patches of Total War Warhammer 1. There was that huge controversy with the Warriors of Chaos pre-order bonus, and they weren't honestly very good in multiplayer. They were kind of crappy in campaign. It was just a really bad situation for Chaos. And they have come a long way. Even without their Regiments of Renown, I would still rank them among the top tier factions currently, where things sit right now. Personally, for me, there's no matchup I go into with Chaos where I don't feel at least semi-confident in my ability to win the battle. I think they have answers for most factions' tools. You can see we've gotten into the back line here with these Marauders. They're going to be an ideal unit for battling these Thunderers, although the Thunderers do have pretty solid melee stats, you know, 20 attack and 28 defense with 28 weapon strength. They'll do okay, but the Marauders obviously have armor piercing, 35 attack and 22 defense, so they will be able to get some damage done on those Thunderers. You can see in another pocket here, we are just chasing with the Marauders, chasing off these Dwarf Warriors and going to be meeting the regrouped Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Big Bird and these Chosen are just kind of starting to circle beat on this Lord a little bit here. The Lord will take a lot of damage from these Chosen. He definitely does not want to stand in the middle of these guys, but unfortunately, being a Dwarf Lord, he's not probably going to be able to escape at this point. A little bit of a risk diving on the Slayers, but the bounce power is starting to creep in my favor a little bit here, and we needed to take them out as quickly as possible. Those are indeed the Dragonback Slayers here. You can see they have taken off one Hell Cannon with these Slayers here. This other group of Slayers has taken off the other Hell Cannon, and they're going to be both now collapsing in on the center, I would imagine, to take off this final Hell Cannon here. Marauder Horsemen have regrouped, so we're going to get them back, just kind of chasing down the routing scraps that my opponent has in various places. Big Bird just being used to quickly come in and drop a terror bomb wherever needed. He's not going to be able to be pinned down by any of the dwarf units here, so I can pretty much get him wherever he needs. Oh no, look at that Dawi wrapped up in the staff. Oh man, that's going in the book for sure. You can see here the Chosen, though, my opponent wisely trying to get these Dragonback Slayers, the 5 of them that are left. They are, you know, definitely not wanting to take these Chosen on head-to-head. That would not be fulfilling their Slayer Oath, I guess. But looks like a Rune of Wrath and Ruin going down, marked by Ulthar, actually. So those Ulthar's Raiders did come back from routing and are going to be chucking some of their throwing axes in from the side. Unfortunately, they have pretty few unit models left, but it does look like they might be able to take down a few of these Chosen, potentially. Yeah, the Chosen are just doing work. Just 138 kills so far on this unit of Chosen, 107. Most of the Marauders have kind of scattered and either been routed off or they're chasing routing units. So mostly it's just the Chosen fighting in this center pocket here with Big Bird. You can see he's hunting down this Dwarf Lord once again. Going to be just munching on him and knocking him around. Really bad situation for him. And yeah, my opponent doesn't really have much of a choice at this point but to bring in his Slayers against the Chosen, which is going to be a pretty bad day for the Slayers, although they are very cool with their red mohawks and beards and, you know, runic tattoos and everything. Fortunately, they just don't have the armor to stand up, and, you know, even then, these Chosen have crazy armor-piercing damage, so they'd probably be able to cut through them anyway. Honestly, I think that Chosen with great weapons might be the best infantry in the game, potentially. I need to do some testing with them against Swordmasters of Hoeth. And see, you know, who the true MVPs are, but I think just based on what I've seen, Chosen trade very cost effectively in a lot of situations, even tattered as they are in this particular situation here, facing up against a lot more Slayers. They are going to take some damage here. You can see a few Chosen dropping from the Slayer axes, but they are going to just destroy those remaining Slayers here because they have such crazy good combat stats. I mean, these guys have picked up 2 chevrons through the course of the battle, so they're at 51 attack and 51 defense. I mean, a lot of heroic units don't even have that good of combat stats, so the thing about Swordmasters of Hoeth is once that martial prowess drops, they suffer pretty badly in a lot of situations. They can take a lot of shock damage or, you know, have a Fate of Yuna or something else take them below that, you know, threshold relatively easily. Whereas these Chosen with great weapons, man, they just keep on trucking no matter what. You can see fighting very valiantly against even these unbreakable Slayers. Fighting down almost to the man here are these Chosen. So very good stuff. Down to only 9 unit models holding out valiantly against these Slayers. And that Slayer group was more or less healthy when they engaged, but just when they thought they were free, they're cutting down the last few Chosen here. Fresh group of Chosen appears. Well, not fresh. I say fresh. They're actually, you know, about 3rd HP, but they're going to be able to get in here and clean up the remaining Slayers. The rest of the Dawi forces have broken from army losses at this point. There's just this one Dragonback Slayer that's being munched on here by Big Bird. Oh, that looks like maybe there's a couple. But yeah, they're going to be cut down by the Marauders and by Big Bird and so on. Yeah, very well played to my opponent. Just not being able to focus on these Chosen with his armor-piercing missiles was honestly, I think, what did him in the end. You can see he was able to clear up a lot of my infantry. Only really these Chosen left, and even that other group got killed pretty much to the man by those Slayers. So these Chaos Marauders are still here as well, but they're relatively tattered, but that's pretty much it. I mean, he was almost able to work down even Big Bird himself just through sheer attrition in melee combat. So a very good battle for my opponent. He played very admirably considering the circumstances. forced into a very rough situation there, but unfortunately it just wasn't quite enough in the end. So let's go ahead and take a look. 85 kills on Big Bird himself. Very nice. 105 on Chaos Marauders with great weapons. You can't ask for more against the dwarfs especially. 79 here and 84. Granted, my opponent did bring a very wide dwarf army, so these kill totals are a little bit inflated compared to what you may normally see, but still 199 and 175 dwarfs on both these units of Chosen. I mean, that is the real deal for sure. The Hell Cannons didn't end up doing a whole lot of work in this matchup, but they kind of forced my opponent into coming towards me, which then I was able to get favorable engagements with the Chosen and so on, so definitely worked out in my favor there. On his side, the Slayers ended up doing very well. This unit of Slayers in particular, 87 kills, got quite a few chevrons. Both these units of Slayers helping to mop up the Hell Cannons was key. Definitely, my opponent, you know, a lot of dwarf players would just let those Hell Cannons sit and fire, but thankfully my opponent had the Slayer mobility. It's interesting calling Slayers mobility, but I guess they kind of are the dwarf mobility. They were able to get in on those cannons and shut them down. Likewise, the Marauder Horsemen were able to shut down the Bolt Thrower without too much hassle. You can see the main issue from my opponent, as I was saying, if he had been able to do just a little bit more work with these Thunders and the Ulthar's Raiders on my Chosen before the battle got into that really pitched late game situation, would have worked out a lot better for him, I think. But nevertheless, very well played. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that battle. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.